This episode of Mental is brought to you by Spas and More. Visit spasandmorestl.com for more information.
Ashley, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
To Mental. Thank you for coming on. For those who may not know your backstory and who you are, just a brief synopsis of who you are, and what you do.
Okay. My name's Ashley, and I'm from Northern Illinois, but I moved to St. Louis in 2017.
Okay.
I moved here for First Form because I was an athlete with them, so I was in the fitness industry for a really long time and kind of became a fitness influencer before it was even like a thing. Mm-hmm. I was one of like the OGs. And then once I moved here, I really loved St. Louis, so I've stayed. Obviously, it's been like 10 years now. And I eventually transitioned from the fitness industry into the beauty industry. And so now I'm a licensed esthetician and I'm a skincare formulator, and I have a skincare brand called AN Skin. And I feel like the fitness industry and the beauty industry kind of go hand in hand, you know,
Sure.
Taking care of yourself and being disciplined, things like that. But I ended up having like a lot of health issues when I was in the fitness world because I was just very extreme. And part of my issue was I ended up developing acne. And so that's what kind of led me into the skin industry because I wanted to heal my skin.
Okay.
And so then I went back to school, became an esthetician, healed my skin, and started formulating skincare products and helping people heal theirs as well so they could gain confidence. And so I've been doing that now for probably 8 years. And I have a daughter that's 3.5 and a doggie that's like 4, I think she is. And yeah, I'm just a single mom running a business and loving St. Louis.
Yeah, love it. One of the things that I didn't, so I asked you on here just so that if you're just catching this, because what I've always found incredible about you since I've known you is certain manner of resilience that you have, the way you carry yourself. So no one can really tell what's behind the curtain, but it's still a very genuine. You have a very genuine personality, right?
Thank you.
So
I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. I've always been envious of that of you. Not envious in a way that's like, I wish I had it, but I always thought it was admirable, I should say, right? But something you just mentioned that I didn't even think about was when you're talking about going extreme with working out or physical fitness and what it may or may not do to your skin. Mm-hmm. So along those lines, during that time period where you're trying to figure out skincare and these other things, did you look into or do you have insight on what certain things do to your skin? Example, if I was taking creatine, might it create acne, and were your skincare line products designed with those kind of things in mind, like people that are doing the same thing, taking the same type of supplements?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's hard to say because the skin is the largest organ on your body, and so it's telling you what's going on internally. So if you're developing acne or something like that, it's typically because there's some sort of imbalance happening, whether it's your gut or your hormones or your stress or a mix of all of that alongside diet. Diet and nutrition and supplementation for sure can contribute. I didn't really realize that I had a ton of allergies and intolerances until later down the road when I was healing my skin. And
allergies, external and
so I had food allergies that I didn't know about, and so of course my supplements were affecting me because I was like intaking whey protein, for example, and I was allergic to dairy. So it's like, of course, that was interacting with my skin, but it doesn't mean that's the case for everyone, you know. So for me, it did unfortunately affect my skin because I was taking things in my body that were inflammatory for me. Mm-hmm. But, it's so subjective and so different for every person because each body is different, as you know. So, yeah, I had to overhaul my entire life, honestly, because I was extremely lean, extremely stressed out. My body was in such a bad place because I had been a bodybuilder, so I was way too low body fat. I had messed up hormones. My gut was a mess because I was stressed out all the time. So it was just like I had to literally look at every angle in my life and make adjustments to be able to heal my skin, including the things I was putting on my skin topically, which is what led me into formulating skincare products. And are we in Fenton right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my manufacturing facility is in Fenton. So I make most of my products here in Fenton, and they're all clean, like cruelty-free.
Shout out to Fenton. No.
Yeah. But yeah, they're all clean and cruelty-free. They don't have carcinogens in them or anything. Like that also impacts your skin if you're using products that are irritating your face, you know, that's going to cause more acne also.
Okay. So something else that I learn a lot, because I don't know if it's because like men in general. I mean, I have a skin routine now at 41.
Good for you. Most men don't. It's a bar of soap and that's it.
Yeah. No. So I have like a nighttime cream, and I have a daytime cream that I put on my face.
Such a guy. I have a nighttime cream.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm told what to do by like the people that take care of skin.
Yeah.
And they tell me like, use this, because at first I was like, oh, I'm using this whatever the Rocks brand is.
Oh gosh, he's a skincare line
or something.
He's a skincare line?
Yeah.
The Rock.
He does have nice skin. Like,
I mean, he does, but I'm just shocked that that's the
but
move he made. Like, he made tequila and then skincare?
I think it's one of those things where he's just like, I'm like, what's next?
I guess, with skincare.
Right? He's got like Under Armour. He owns part of Under Armour.
I'm sure he found a need, because if you think about it, there's not a lot of male skincare brands.
He owns most of the XFL.
Yeah.
So
skincare was the move. Yeah.
Skincare.
Now I got to get in the beauty world, so here we are.
Yeah.
What's his brand called? I need to look it up.
It's like Papua or something.
Oh.
We'll put it in the thing.
Okay.
Papua? I'm sure that's
It
wrong.
must mean something. Is it like Hawaiian or something?
I'm sure it's Hawaiian, but I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. Also.
Okay, so you use his...
I don't know.
So you use his products?
Did,
okay.
And then I went to a spa, and they were like, what's your routine? And I was like...
Papua moisturizer. Yeah. And they're like, what?
Papua night cream, Papua day cream. What is it? And they were like, no, like it matters, right?
Yeah.
But one of the things you said that I'm curious about is being a female, being a mother, during that time period where you're going through all this transitional stuff, you obviously have a far different hormonal makeup than we do as men, right? So I don't know that it's any less or more important for either of us to have a skincare routine as male and female, but certainly there's more that goes into it for a female, right? Because you talk about total body, so you're into fitness, you're into skincare. It really all kind of ties into total body wellness.
Oh
right?
yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's like the way of the future, which I'm sure I'm getting off of what you're trying to ask me, but
I don't think so.
But I feel like where like the whole world is going slowly is more into like functional health, you know, and like that's what I want to get into. Like that's why I take NAD injections and why I check my hormones all the time. And
tell me what's NAD?
NAD. I don't know how to say the whole word, but it's like nicotinamide adenine diode something. I don't know. It's some weird long...
Put it right under Papua.
Yeah, we're just we both are like, we take it. We don't know how to say it. But
my Nicodemus shot.
Yeah, literally. You're like, you take nicotine? Nicotine shot?
No, Nicodemus was I think that was the bad guy from the Rats of Nymph.
Oh my God.
Do you remember that cartoon movie?
Yes, a little bit.
The Rats of Nymph.
But yeah, I take NAD injections, which it's like a huge thing right now because people are seeing how important it is for longevity. It's really good for anti-aging, cognition, really good for energy, metabolism, detoxing. Like it literally checks all the boxes. So people, if they're going to take anything, they take that because it kind of hits everything. And I mean, I feel awesome. I take it like twice a week. I took it this morning. And so I feel like when you're talking about fitness and health and your skin and your beauty, like you also have to be looking at diet, nutrition, your like what are you doing in your downtime? Like how are you balancing your life? Like it used to be so like it pissed me off honestly because everybody online was just like you either, no days off, like all in or nothing, you know? And it was like, and then everyone was burned out and wondered why they like were so imbalanced. And it's like, cause that's what you're promoting. Like people were promoting that for so long and some people still do. And I think it's very dangerous to say that because just like with me being in the fitness industry, you can take things too far. And I took things too far when I was in the fitness industry and it made me really sick and it gave me really bad acne and it fucked my hormones up. And like, I was even shocked I was able to get pregnant years later because I was told I would never get pregnant because I messed my body up so much that my hormones were just a mess.
That's
so it's like
terrifying.
Oh yeah, it was terrifying because, you're a woman, you're designed to make children and then you're told you can't. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'm very big now on balance and looking at everything as a whole because it all matters.
Well, and you didn't talk about, but I'm sure this is part of it, is emotional and mental too, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I go to therapy every week.
Yeah.
I try to meditate as often as I can. I'm not the greatest at it because I have like crazy ADHD, but I have a sauna in my basement, and that's kind of my zen time where I sit there and try not to be on my phone, and I just like relax. Like I try to do things to like shut off, including having hobbies now too, outside of just working. Because if you work all the time, like you're never ever able to like separate. Like
Jack Nicholson talks about it in that one movie with the twins.
Yeah, exactly.
The Shining.
Yes,
all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
That's
I don't know if you know that's where I was going with
not where people take what people take from that movie, but yes.
That's what I took. You got to let loose a little bit.
I took that from The Shining too. Yeah,
chasing people through a haunted hotel. No, I think that those are incredibly relevant points. The world. So one of the things too I think about is like, is the world shifting that way, or am I? Because I do all those things, and I would like to talk to you about meditation because that's a sore point for me too that I try. Or is it that as you shift into this position, your world becomes that, right? Like I've noticed my circle is far different than it was even a year ago.
Yeah, same.
Of who I hang out with. But what's cool about it is like it's all been very organic. Like I don't feel like I've got everything seems very when you're living in purpose and with
like
continuity.
Intent. Yeah, an intent.
Yeah, it tends to same as like a career, right? People that may not know you very well look at it like, oh, you started the skincare line and now you're everywhere and you have this huge skincare line. They don't think about the 20-hour days that you put in for 6 years, right?
Exactly.
Or still. So in that same sense, I think that that's how the universe, at least in my experience, because I'm certainly not like a mental health expert, has aligned things. Like when I'm moving in my purpose, things kind of organically happen.
Yeah.
And so I think the same with your body, and why it's become important to me, and why I asked you to kind of talk about this thing, overall encompassing thing, not just the skincare, is there is a lot to be said about the longevity, but also just the way you feel, because I didn't realize how important it was to feel good and confident versus hiding other things or disguising it with arrogance, in how that like translates on how I can show up in my friendships, relationships, at work. It's very, very, very important, especially as we get older, right?
Yeah, I think people don't understand at all how important the energy you bring is, because we are feelers. Like we know when someone's feeding you bullshit. You know when someone's like, I'm having the best day of my life, and you know they're like just hiding behind this mask of just like hating themselves inside, you know? And I have a lot of people that are not in my life anymore that used to be that way, and they were just like frauds to themselves. And it's because they were never honest with themselves and they hated who they were, but it's because they weren't doing all of the things that they said they would do. You know, like at the end of the day, a lot of it comes down to like your word. And if you say you're going to do something, do it. And I mean, I could go off on a tangent on that, but what you're saying I think is so important, because I feel the same way. I think that when you wake up every day and you understand where you're going with your life, you're speaking that out into the universe, and then you're like creating it.
Yeah.
And I literally saw like a reel this morning on Instagram, and I can't word exactly how it mentioned it, but it was basically saying like everything starts with a belief and then a thought, and then it turns into an action, and that's how the world quite literally operates. So if you don't believe, like if the first thing you do in the morning is doubt yourself, then your whole day is going to be centered around that, whether you believe it or not, because you innately set yourself up for that. So if you're in a place of low self-esteem and like not feeling confident because you're not following through the things or building your own confidence, like you're going to literally set yourself up for a shit day or a shit week or whatever it is, and then you bring those same type of like low energy people into your life. Yeah. And I used to be that way myself.
Well, so I chalk that up to kind of like a manifestation thing.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
We're talking about believing it, and all manifestation is another thing that, again, I don't know if it's because of what I do now or if it's just a trend, but it's talked about a lot. And one of the things I've noticed for me is the manifestation comes from having the goal and then subconsciously making decisions to work towards that goal.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not like magic.
No.
It's just like, and then at some point those habits become, so this is probably something that resonates strongly with you as someone who was a former bodybuilder, it becomes muscle memory. So you can create that same space. So like when you talk about that, one of my big moments of clarity was an understanding of, I had an incident where someone came into my home unexpectedly, and my
like
10-year-old.
broken?
No.
Oh.
No. We would tell a different story there. I'd be like, and after I got out of jail, now that I'm tough, just don't break into my house.
Yeah.
So, no, just one of the neighbors' sons had got into it with my son, and she came in like with the boys and was like, hey, I need to talk to you about what just happened. But like, I wasn't expecting anybody, and I live with a 10-year-old. And when my college son was home from school over the summer, it's basically like 3 college dudes living there, right? So
yeah.
It wasn't the tidiest. And let's say I was a little embarrassed. And so like I was like, oh man. And so I came up with this like thought process of like, if my home is my body, then I want to make sure that no matter who enters my home or who enters my heart, my mind, whatever, it's a comfortable and calm place.
Yeah.
It's a clean place.
Yeah.
And so I kind of carry that same idea over. And when you're talking about like clearing things out. So one of my biggest deals was, and this will segue into the meditation to come back full circle, but one of my biggest deals was my mind kills me. And I still have a lot of trouble with it in the sense that thinking about the past, which you can't go back and change.
Right.
So like reminiscing here, predicting here. So I've really focused hard on staying in the present. Mm-hmm. And how I help myself do that is I have a worry journal. So when I wake up in the morning, whatever I'm worried about, or if I had like a bad experience yesterday, I got overly frustrated because I got cut off in traffic or something, I'll write it out. I'm like, what can I do about it today to change that? What can I do this week, this month? And then it's out of my brain. And then once I close that, my next step is to pray in gratitude. So
I like
that
that.
kind of rewire my brain to be like, yeah, that sucked, and I'm worried about this, but like you woke up today. And like,
yeah, exactly.
I have feeling in my fingers. Like even if it's simplistic, I try and list like 14 or 15 things, and then have an understanding.
So
right?
where did you come up with that?
I'd like to think that I read it or saw it somewhere, but the worrying thing, I've just always kind of done that in my mind.
Yeah.
And one of the realizations, like I said, like I beat myself up in my own head. Mm-hmm. You know, I think a lot of us are probably guilty of that. But
yeah, for sure.
It was something that once I got real honest with myself about like what are my cyclical things that are holding me back, was a big one for me. And so I was like, well, how can I do this? And it's like, get it out of your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Get it out of your brain.
And journaling's so good at that. I don't know why, but it really does like release it. Because I do the same thing. Like when I journal, I'm like, it somehow is gone out of my mind now. Like just writing it down.
Well, because I think that we have, again, I'm trying to be careful about how I say things because I don't want to like give advice that's wrong. So for me, like speaking it into existence. So I did stand-up comedy for years. Mm-hmm. Still do occasionally, right? And that's why it's called Punchline Productions, because originally the radio show was Reed and I, and he punched people in the face, and in hockey only.
Oh.
I never fought off the ice. And I told jokes. So the show was called Punchline.
Okay.
And then it expanded into this production company. So, but my comedy was my therapy. Mm-hmm. But it was still when I was too afraid to like be honest with myself about things. Mm-hmm. And so I would just joke about it. And then the first episode of this, which was 1 year ago today, by the way, Sam, did you see that?
Congratulations.
Thanks. Was me going through a difficult time in my life. And I called 2 dudes that I know have overcome way more. JT Thomas, who had a kidney transplant. Have you met him before?
I think you have. Yeah, maybe.
I know you have. He rolls around with some of the same people.
Oh, okay.
And within those circles. Real good dude, but like always a very positive guy. Mm-hmm. And had been through hell and back, right? Mm-hmm. Ran a bunch of half marathons. I think you're expecting a baby. Congratulations. His wife is, not him. And then Jonathan, a buddy of mine who was going through a divorce with 3 small children. And I'm over here crying and sobbing and can't get off the couch because I had a relationship that went south after 14 months. And I did lose my mother on the same time and some other things. But I'm like, people have it worse.
Yeah.
And so my therapy transformed from comedy into, I called these dudes up and I'm like, hey, will you come talk out loud with me on camera about how you get through your day? Because I think it's admirable how you do it, you know, and I'm over here sad and I want to figure it out. And through that process, through that therapy of like talking things out, what I figured out is 1, get things out of your brain,
Yep.
get them onto paper. If you can't control it, don't worry about it.
Yep.
And just how much routine can save your sanity and create peace in your life.
Isn't that crazy how routine can create peace?
Yeah, it's difficult,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's why.
Yeah.
Like we said in there, I certainly didn't make this up, but I don't know where I heard it. It's just that, doing difficult things makes your life easy, and doing easy things makes your life difficult. Mm-hmm. Because I have so much more time. Like you said, you have hobbies now.
Yeah, finally.
When's the last time you had hobbies?
When I was like 16,
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
But you are, like you said, a single mother, an entrepreneur. You shouldn't have time for hobbies. Like in the broad scheme, on paper,
Yeah.
people will be like, when the hell do you have time for hobbies?
Yeah.
But same, like I go on like a 1 hour walk every day. An hour for a walk?
Right?
Like,
I have time for that?
Yeah, I do that time back. Yeah, or paint. Like I paint stuff, like when I get bored.
Did you paint that? Mm-hmm. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I was an artist too. For
Still
a long
are.
time. Could be, I guess.
You are
If I
inside there.
Picked it back up,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there's another hobby for you.
Yeah, I know.
So what hobbies did you pick up?
Well, I'm really into mountain biking right now.
Okay.
Which I don't know why I decided to choose the fucking hardest, most like scary sport ever, because
Yeah.
it's like you're going downhill and going off jumps and like half killing yourself. But it's very fun.
Did you cycle prior to this? Like did you go to those spin classes?
No.
Okay, so my son and I started riding bikes last summer.
Okay.
When I first got on it, my hip bones, like my joints hurt.
Oh yeah, and your
Did
like
you figure that
crotch
out?
because you're sitting on that fucking
Yeah.
tiny seat. I had to get like a special seat that is apparently
I don't remember
like
having any issue as a kid.
yeah. Oh no,
I would ride for like 12 hours a
yeah,
day.
and then now it's like you're rickety and shit. Yeah,
Yeah. The most disappointing thing was the fact that I could tell that it was my ball joints.
you're like it is literally
Yeah.
the hip grinding right
Yeah.
now as I ride this. Cool.
It was like one time I had took NyQuil, and I never take medicine.
Yeah.
And I could feel my liver, like, wasn't able to process it. But I knew very specifically what organ it was. And I'm like, I don't like being this age.
You're like I know
I'm like-
every single thing
like,
dysfunctioning on my
If
body
I know
right
the
now.
parts that are hurting and I'm not a doctor, like, I don't feel like this is, I want to be young again. I didn't like it.
I am a little rusty when I first get on my mountain bike because I had knee
Yeah.
surgery last summer, so my knee's a little tight
Iffy?
when I first start. Yeah,
Okay.
but I love it. I mean, I just got back from Arkansas. I went mountain biking all weekend there.
Cool.
And, trail riding or doing like the enduro course or whatever it is. I don't know. It's just a thrill and it takes your freaking mind off shit.
Sure.
And when you're trying to stay alive and not die, like that makes all the hard stuff in your life kind of feel like
Puts things in perspective.
yeah, kind of. And it's just like, why am I stressing over my friend being mad at me or whatever it is when, like, I don't know. It just, like, for some reason, being outside in nature and moving your body is so healing.
I love nature.
And so, me too. And I, for so long, wouldn't go outside because my stupid, like, beauty background, like, I felt like I always had to look perfect and I didn't want to be out in the sun and I didn't want to
SPF.
ruin, wear your sunscreen. I didn't want to like ruin my hair or whatever it was. Like I was such a diva. And then now I'm like, I don't care what I look like. I want to go out and have fun outdoors. And if I, have frizzy hair and sun damage, whatever, at least I'm happy.
A raccoon, like,
At least I'm
whatever
happy.
happens. Yeah.
So I've gotten into mountain biking.
Well, and I like that you don't do like, because I don't let things perturb me any longer. But like, oftentimes, if I'm speaking to someone, they're like, "Oh, I go hiking," and I'm like, "Where at?" And they're like, "Oh, like Castlewood, Cliff Cave, always paved courses." So I like that when you're like, "I picked up a hobby mountain biking," you weren't just like, "Yeah, I was just at Castle Point last week." You're like, "I went to Arkansas and I did some like hardcore woodland mountain biking."
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if you've been to Arkansas before or like Bentonville. Have you been to Bentonville?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I lived in the Branson area as a kid.
Oh,
And so
okay.
like a lot of the people that worked and lived in Branson were from Bentonville.
Oh.
Very specifically, actually.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
so Bentonville, you probably know this then, but it's the mountain biking capital of like the whole United States.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there's thousands of trails there. Like people go there specifically to mountain bike, and now it's like kind of on the map because the number one women's mountain biking person
difference?
that's like, what's up?
Oh, person, okay.
Yeah, the girl that like won, I don't know what it was, some major professional mountain biking thing. She just moved to Bentonville. And, the news and everybody's like making it this big deal because they're like, oh my God, she's from LA and she moved all the way to Arkansas. But it's because the trails there are so good and so good for training.
So does she like have her own tracks? You know how like Tiger Woods has his own golf course?
I don't think she does yet, but there's this one that's called All American and it's like miles and miles and miles long. And I watched it on YouTube and I went and like rode it after she did. And I mean, she was going like 4 times faster than me. But it's hard. There's like cliffs and
Have you seen
all kinds
those
of crazy
ones where
stuff.
the dudes are like on a chair with thing on like top of a mountain?
Oh yeah, I watched it all weekend. It's called Red Bull Rampage. It's like
terrifies you?
Oh yeah,
you want to go?
But yet it makes me want to do it because it looks so awful.
Heights aren't where I challenge my.
I mean, they go to Utah in the middle of nowhere at the top of a mountain where you think there is zero chance any human could ever even walk up or down it, and they ride a mountain bike on a trail this wide along the edge of a cliff.
I've watched them do that.
It's
like,
insane. Yeah, well, yeah, it's insane. I kind of want to go watch it. It's in
I would watch it.
Yeah, it's in like October this year. I want to go watch it.
I like risky stuff, but
me too.
Heights is not where I calculate my risks.
Yeah, I feel like most people don't.
I'm more of like an animal guy.
You're like, I want to go touch that squirrel and take my chances, but I'm not going to jump off that rocky.
I mean, like,
rocky mountain.
I'm talking like shark cage.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, not like. I'm cool with squirrels. Like, it doesn't
excite
me.
You would have been on Fear Factor back in the day.
I used to. So, I've never said this out loud, but as a child, what was that on Nickelodeon? They had a show called Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh my God, I loved that show.
And then there was another one called something with a mountain. Remember the aggro crag at the end of it?
Yes.
Global Guts. I used to be like in my living room, like yelling, like, "Get to the rubber band jungle!" Like, why can't you get to the rubber band jungle? I used to talk about I could kill that. And
I could not remember the name of that show until you just said it.
I don't think I knew it.
What's the temple one called?
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Legends of the yes, that was my favorite show. Yes, it was my favorite.
Green
show.
parrots or whatever, blue barracudas. So I used to really get upset about that because I felt like I could have won. Right?
You for sure would have won.
Definitely.
You're like the people that watch like guys in the NFL and you're like critiquing them, but you're like in the stands.
No. See, that's the thing. That's why I feel confident about my global guts chances as a kid. Because I'm not the type of guy that I never would be like watching Iverson and be like, oh, I can cross over like that.
Yeah, you're like, I know what I'm capable of, and I'm not capable of that.
Not delusional, but these little twerps that were on these global guts shows, I'm like,
true.
I'm like, I clown these cats in gym class all day long, like I would defeat them. And then I felt the same way about Fear Factor. So when that came out, I was like, yeah, like
I could do this.
I want a harness. Like,
yeah.
I would jump from truck to truck on a harness and go over and
for sure
eat a sheep's eye.
A sheep's eye.
You know what I mean? Like, I got this. Let's go, Joe Rogan.
I loved Fear Factor. And the fact that I was obsessed with Joe Rogan then, and I still am now, is hilarious. Like, how he's evolved.
Right, but always like the same cat.
Yeah.
Or like, I talk about that a lot with entertainers that come on here, and we talk about, like, authenticity over time. Uh-huh. So kind of the same thing you were talking about. The draw of that authenticity, I think, is what makes people make it.
Yeah, I agree.
People that try and do everything else. And so when you're talking about our circles, like how those change and how you have different friends, I've also come to believe that you've heard so much about trauma bonding.
Yeah.
We trauma bond.
Yeah.
I think there's healing bonding too.
Yeah,
like,
I
I
think
feel
so.
like the people that I'm at now, we're kind of, I liken it to being like tethered at someone's soul. And sometimes as people move through your life, like they may accelerate or you may accelerate. And if that tethering isn't a binding one that is a close friendship or relationship, then it floats away. But if it is, sometimes there's that acceptance or understanding of like, I'll wait for you to catch up. And you wait for me to catch up.
Exactly.
And that's what makes like really beautiful friendships and relationships.
I think so.
I haven't found it on the relationship side yet, but I'll keep posted. Friendship-wise, I've definitely surrounded myself with those kind of people.
It's interesting because I feel like I'm the opposite of you. Like I've found it in a relationship, but not with my friendships. I feel like I have a couple solid friendships that I've kept over the years, especially through all the stuff I've been through in the last couple of years with my life completely changing. But relationship-wise, my boyfriend, we've been together for like 9 months now. We both went through a very similar healing journey. And then we ended up bringing, like we came together and then kind of like brought that healing to each other in a way too that kind of exacerbated it. Yeah, it like made it even bigger. And it was crazy because it's like I had done a lot of healing on my own, so had he. We both had very similar things going on in our lives. We've known each other for a really long time and we like never cross paths like that. Like we were just like friendly, obviously, but we were both married. Like we never in a million years thought we'd end up together.
Right.
And so, but then I think like him and I talk about this a lot. Like once you go through the healing and you show up differently and you start showing the true side of who you are, because really that's all it is. I feel like if you go through something like I did, which was like a major divorce and life change, a lot of it was undoing all the layers of the bullshit that I thought were me that were not me.
Yeah.
And I think I was living like a little bit of a lie, like for myself. Like I thought I wanted the things that I didn't really want, and I also was like allowing things that I shouldn't have allowed because I didn't believe in me enough. And then now that I've changed all of that and I've like rewritten my narrative, like now I have someone in my life who is exactly who I want.
Did you have like any semblance of like an anxious attachment style for yourself?
I did like a ton of research on my attachment style, and I definitely had an anxious attachment style.
I asked that about boundaries. You said about boundaries. So like one of the things I used to be afraid of that was killing me, and I didn't realize it, was my own boundaries.
Yeah, me too. I never had any. And this is the first time in my life now where I'm like very secure in that, and like I will put my foot down anytime because I've been through the opposite where I know it just crumbles,
and I've gotten to where like I think it helps on both sides.
Oh, it for sure
I used
does.
to think it was because like now I'm like very much like, hey, 9:30, like I'm loving this phone conversation, but I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. You're like,
right.
this is what I am doing, and it's just
or if
like,
I don't have my son, my young one, but I need a day to recharge.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to now be like,
I just need
hey,
the day to
I would
myself.
love to, but
Yeah, exactly.
I used to feel guilty because I'm like,
right, but you're not.
I'm not going out with the boys or doing whatever. Like, shit, I couldn't hang with the boys anyway. One of my buddies wanted to meet me at 9 p.m. the other
You're
day.
like, no.
Meet you at 9 p.m.?
We aren't people pleasers anymore. We are done with that shit.
Yeah, I'm not meeting you at 9 p.m.
No.
You want to start hanging out at 9 p.m.?
I'm sleeping in my freaking bed at 9 p.m.
Sounds terrible.
I was passed the fuck out last night at 9 p.m.
Yeah. Meet you at 9 p.m.
Yeah, nope.
What are we, 27?
Yeah, seriously.
Fuck out of here. But, no, so meditation
Yeah.
is all part of this too, right? Finding yourself, doing these things. So my ADD too, it was almost comical for me for a while because there was another experience that's similar to this. So I also try and strengthen my faith, like overall too, right? Like getting closer to God because I believe that the energy in the universe moves a certain way. So I'm very in tune with like that. But when I pray to God because that's what I believe in. And you are allowed to have whatever your beliefs are. That's mine. So it was kind of a friend of mine had asked me, like, when's the last time you prayed on your knees? Like, got on your knees and prayed. And I was like, man, I don't know. Like a long time. And I was like, he like, promise me you'll do that twice this week. I was like, okay. And so I went home. And I'm like in my brain thinking about when's the best time to pray on my knees. Like it became so weird.
Like I gotta plan it.
Yeah. I was like, wait, do I do this before dinner? Maybe on your knees is like an after dinner. Or is it like classical right before bed?
Yeah, classical old school right before bed.
Put on my snood and my nightgown.
Yeah, it's
kneel
perfect.
down and pray.
Yeah.
So it became this like thing, and so eventually I was like, "You're being so stupid," and so I just did it there, like then and there, like instead of contemplating. So meditation was the same way for me. So that's why.
You're like, when's the right time?
Well, and from what I knew of meditation prior to this, is like I got to sit crisscross applesauce.
Yeah,
and
like
make
close
that
your eyes
hum
and
sound.
like, yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm like, is that what it is? And so now, the way I figure, this is an opinion, so I don't even know if it's based in fact, but meditation can be any time that I can break away from being hyper-focused on anything or any one thing. And so for me, my meditation time is when I listen to affirmations. So I'll listen to affirmations and repeat them to myself. Kind of Stuart Smalley style stuff, right? Like I am good enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. And that's my meditation. So what did you? Because that occupies my brain without filling it with garbage.
Yeah, I like that.
What did you find with your ADD self to meditate?
I feel like I'm kind of like you. I have to intake something because if I don't, my brain is gonna just
do its own thing.
Yeah, it's just gonna not freaking stop. So unfortunately for me, like I'm kind of that way too. I'm like if I'm gonna be taking my mind off of something, I almost need to have like something else coming in. And so for me, a lot of times it's just like listening to music or, which I know sounds so like cliche probably, but like if I can just listen to music and like kind of just zone out or zen out or whatever you want to call it. Or what I used to actually do is I would go rollerblading. Okay. And I would put like music in and I would just like listen to music and literally just like let everything kind of like just come out of me. Oops, as I knocked over the table. And I would just be outside and feel the sun on my skin and like just listen to the music, and I'm just like riding around, and it made me feel like I was a kid again because I was like super into.
I was a big blader. That's why I'm smiling
me too.
because it's funny.
I was so big into it.
I mean, like Airborne had come out and Brink.
Oh yeah, Brink
on Disney.
Oh yeah.
There was like some steps
and
that
like
I was
D3,
really...
the Mighty Ducks and all that shit, and like ice skating, rollerblading, kind of similar.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like a dude.
D2 and D3 start with them like rounding up the ducks on blades.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you. And like the one Power Rangers movie, they start off in rollerblades.
Oh yeah, those hyper big wheel blades.
Yeah. So like I was like a tomboy, so I was so into that stuff. So then I feel like when I'm like healing is when I'm like being a kid again. So like rollerblading or going mountain biking in the woods and not thinking about anything else but like surviving on my bike.
I'm hip. I'll have, do, and will like cut a vine, swing on a vine, play in the creek, like we're outside.
That's the stuff that like really does, like that's like my meditation, because I feel like I'm outside and I'm getting my mind off of life, and I'm remembering like that like you're so small like in this big giant world, you know.
Well, I think it's important too, for especially for like highly driven people, to have moments of like just being a fucking silly goose.
Yeah.
You know, like you got to have that whimsy mixed in with your stringency, because for me that recharges me, like you're saying too, right? So
yes, exactly. I think
that's an interesting take on meditation though. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be any kind of sitting still.
Yeah, for me it's almost like the opposite. Like running used to be a meditation for me, and that's why I ran all the time. I was like an obsessive runner, but it's because
never could get into running.
It would just take my mind, or actually when I would run, it would make me think about the things that I was maybe avoiding, and then I would like process it, and so I could like work through stuff while I would run too. So like in a way I feel like part of meditation is looking inward and asking yourself like, okay, what's really bothering me, or like what do I need to work through right now, or you know, whatever. And sometimes I think allowing yourself to think about it and to like work through it like on your own in your own internal house is super helpful, but then sometimes it's good to just like release it, and that's why like working out or being outdoors or doing something silly like can release that, because you're not holding on to that like strain of those feelings.
Are you hyped about when your daughter gets old enough to like go do adventures with you?
Oh yeah, I like want to already take her to like Arkansas with me, and I've been trying to teach her how to rollerblade. She loves it. She's like 3, so not very good at any of it, but we try.
The little clip quads right now?
She has like the little like, they're like roller skates that you like put on that your like feet like fit into. Yeah.
Little plastic.
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
Fisher-Price or Play School?
Yeah. She loves them. So we do that, and like I just try to.
I did a road trip with my oldest son.
Really?
To date. Like, well, we always do like a father-son trip. Me and the boys are big into that, but like one of my favorite ones was driving out to the Grand Canyon and back.
I still haven't been there.
Oh, we stopped at everything. I need to. Redwood's on my list for this year.
Yeah.
I've got buddies.
Redwood Forest or whatever?
Yeah.
That's in California, right?
Yeah, Northern California.
Yeah, I've been there.
Southern Oregon.
It was crazy. Those trees are just insane.
I got to squirrel up on one of those big-ass trees.
Yo, so big.
Yeah.
You would love all the animals out there.
Right. And not only that, but also like oversized things and miniature things really bring me joy. There's a place in Illinois. I'll send it to you when I can remember. But it's got like 28 things within that town that are the largest. Like the world's largest mailbox, pencil, rake,
that's cool.
pitchfork. It is cool.
What about those like tiny little, like when you go to breakfast and they give you those tiny little jam jars?
Put them all in my
or
purse.
the little ketchup?
Yeah, let's take them home. I love it.
I've stolen a thing or two of
They're
those.
adorable.
They're cool. Yeah, it's something about being mini that it's like, this is fucking cool.
That's what I'm saying, because it's abnormal. So I think that's what like spikes my brain, is like seeing something like, or I used to do like these jokes. Me and my buddies all worked at like the country club together, and we would do these. Oh, I forgot. Never mind. That's inappropriate for 2025.
You're like, I'm going to get canceled talking about this, actually.
Yeah, I just like things that are smaller and bigger than they should be.
Yeah.
It always amuses me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. But, so meditation is important.
Yeah.
For that. Keeping that childlike thing is important.
Yes.
It all ties in. Another thing you said about longevity, so I like to always kind of point out something that I take away from a conversation. The longevity being important. I think I didn't really understand the depth of that importance in your everyday life until I was faced with mortality through my mother passing. Right? In the sense that there's always tomorrow for good things and for bad things. And so when I had bad habits, addictions, or traits too, it was always okay to like start tomorrow and not doing those things, as well as was starting this, and then not thinking about like starting tomorrow may be too late. Like the things that have set into effect, me having a heart attack at 55, may have already, the damage was done from 30 to 37 maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
And so like looking at it from that perspective, it was like there was no tomorrow. Like on Rocky, like there is no tomorrow. And so I just like started getting into those things because of the understanding that like I don't want to be like coming up the stairs one day and my kids are teenagers and I'm like, ugh.
No, it's true. But I also think that's like why it's so important to almost trick your mind into thinking like that, because if you, just like with the praying and stuff, like there's never going to be a right moment, you know? It's like, and when you first start doing anything, you like psych yourself out. Like literally when I started mountain biking, first time I went down like a roll-in, which is like where you like roll into the trail and it's like a 15-foot steep as shit like thing you roll into. It looks like you're gonna die.
Oh, like a roller coaster? Like
it's kind of like a roller coaster, yeah. It like goes like this, and you roll down into the trail.
Got it.
And it's like a ramp.
I needed this.
Yeah, it's like a ramp,
Okay.
basically. And the first time I did it, I talked myself out of it 6 times, literally. I would get up to it, and I would back up, and I would start over, and I'd get up, and I'd back up. And
But that's when you jack yourself up, is when you don't commit.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was so mad at myself because I'm like, I'm going to let myself down and not fucking do this. And it's like, I literally had to think like what you just said. It's like, this is my last day here. Like, if I don't do it today, I'm not going to be able to do this. Or who knows when I'm going to come back, you know? So it's like, I just had to suck it up and finally do it. And then when I did, I was so glad I did. And so I feel like it's like that with anything. We like almost
Wear a mouth guard?
No.
See, at my age, I feel like I'd wear mouth guards for things.
Yeah,
I didn't
probably
used to be
should.
like into it, but like,
When I watched like the freaking professionals do it, they wear mouth guards so they don't want to probably fuck their teeth up.
I feel like that's the weakest part of my body. It is. I've had them broken a lot. Like that's.
Like, I'm going to break my teeth again. I need to wear
fake.
a mouth guard.
I remember at one point I had this one tooth repaired so many times that I asked my dentist, like, what can I do
Yeah.
to like strengthen my teeth?
And he's like, you need veneers.
He said, stop getting punched in the mouth. I got punched in the mouth a lot as a kid.
Well, no more pissing people off.
Right. I was like, I gotta politen up, or I'm gonna lose my teeth.
Yeah.
No, so like I'm always real conscious about getting my teeth checked
No, that's
up.
smart, because I mean, I have all my real teeth. I don't want to lose them.
You never chipped a tooth?
I've chipped one of my front teeth one time, but they just put a little composite on it.
Not
over
enough
there.
to like feel the pain of like when air passes it?
No.
I'm talking about like something that'll keep you awake at night.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Teeth shit and ear shit are way worse than you think it's going to be.
Nose too once.
Yeah.
I had once taken a shot of Everclear.
Ew.
Alcohol. I was a wee lad. Probably too
A
young to
wee
drink.
lad.
Probably too young to even drink.
Yeah.
MB 2020.
Ew. All that shit. So bad.
Screwdrivers. Just dumb shit, right? Like
Jägermeister? Why were we all into Jägermeister?
We weren't.
Yes, everyone
I
was
love a
back
good
in the
and
day.
plenty. I'll eat a handful of good and plenties.
What's that?
The pink and white little licorice bites that your grandmother
yeah.
may have had?
Yeah.
Right?
We were talking about alcohol, so I was confused.
Well, yeah, so I say that because, like, I don't like liquid black licorice.
Yeah, ew, no.
I don't really care for black
Who
licorice.
if you do, you're freaking weird.
Or old.
Or old.
Because there wasn't options. It was like molasses, black licorice. I remember my grandmother and my great aunt used to talk about they'd get a treat sometimes as like a spoonful of molasses. And I'm like,
Ew.
fucking treat.
That's disgusting.
Like, that's the shit I would rather not use.
Yeah.
What's the alternative to molasses? What can I change in this recipe instead of molasses?
Yeah.
And that was their treat.
Ew.
But they used to have like, what was there? There was a gum flavor that was still like, you could still find it when we were little.
Zebra gum?
No, but I love that shit. Fruit stripe gum, you talking about? It's called Fruit Stripes. It has like 4.7 seconds of flavor for each stick.
By the time you actually break it down
All
from a
15 are
stick
gone.
to a gum
Yeah,
piece,
the flavor's
it's
gone. It's kind of like when people talked about sparkling water being like the equivalent, the taste of sparkling water is like somebody whispering a flavor into your ear while you watch static television. There was
I hate sparkling water.
It wasn't peppercorn. I'm going to think of it. It was a really terrible flavor of gum.
Oh, gum?
It was like, they used to have molasses flavored gum. I've had that.
Ew.
And there was some other like, some kind of pepper thing. Whatever. Anyway, so meditation, longevity, skincare. What it all rolls into and what you're finding out through your journey was that there is a space and time for all-encompassing health? Has that changed the way you're doing skincare? Have you changed products because of it? Because you're 7 years total in the game? No, it wouldn't be 7 until the end of this, right?
We're year 5 in business for AN Skin, but I've been doing skincare related things for like 9 years now. Okay. I've been in the industry for a while. And yes, it actually has changed how I approach things now. I offer nutrition coaching for people because a lot of my acne patients that come to me need help with their nutrition too, because if they're just getting treatments from me or doing skincare, like that's not enough sometimes. And now
is that the same as like when you're working out? Like you can't outwork a bad diet?
Yeah, very similar. And I mean,
so
yes,
I could use all the procedural things, but if I'm not...
Yeah, and sometimes you can do skincare alone and it works. But sometimes if you have a really serious case of something, like you need to also be doing lifestyle changes. And inflammation is like the root of a lot of it. And if you're eating inflammatory foods, then you're upsetting your gut and you're messing up your hormones and then you're getting acne. And so there's a lot of times a correlation. So I do offer other services now. So we used to just sell skincare products. Now I do facials in person. I do skin consultations for free, virtual and in person. I help create regimens for people with like a holistic view. So I'll order them labs. I will assess their skin and what they're using, and if they need to change their products, I'll do treatments on them. I can help them with their nutrition. I also will, outsource if they need any additional help with something that could be contributing to their skin problems. I have a lot of places I partner with. I have a supplement brand I work with that is really great for like bridging those gaps, that it's very clean and very good quality. And this is all stuff I was not doing a couple years ago, but I started noticing like people.
But as someone who's been in this world for a long time, I would feel like you probably have a better insight than most.
Yeah, right? I think so.
Because you've been on the giving and receiving end.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't just go to school for it, you lived this life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've lived the life. I know now how much better I feel looking at things from a holistic point of view and how much better results I have. And all I ever want is for people to feel better and to be healthy and to feel their best. And so if the way of achieving that is by looking at multiple things at once, then that's how I'm going to approach my business. And I think that's the way of the future, honestly. I think that's where everything is going, which is kind of what we talked about at the beginning of all this, which is I think people in general are wanting a more holistic view on everything they do.
Yeah, to be fully aligned, right?
Yeah, and I think they are. I really do feel like a positive shift is about to happen, because I don't know about you, but I cannot stand social media right now. There's so much fake shit on there, and it's all fear-mongering, and it's negative, and it's lies.
I don't really scroll anymore.
Yeah, it's like I don't even get on there outside of posting my content and stuff, because it makes me feel gross, and I don't like it. And so I'm like committed now, I'm committed now to just when I show up online, like I'm the same person you will see if you see me at the grocery store, or the same person you see if you are behind closed doors with me. Like I'm not going to put on some like fake me and then like the real me.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I think is really imperative for my business, is just being real and being authentic. Because again, like with you and I going through the healing we've gone through, like I'm done with fake. I'm done with putting up with shit. I'm done with not having boundaries. I'm done with lying to myself. I'm done with lying to other people. Like I have been that person, and I'm not going to anymore. And so it carries over into how I run my business and how I live my life. Because if that doesn't align with who I am, I'm not going to run my business that way.
And isn't it weird how like doing those things can? It's like it's not overnight, but my cynicism is gone. Mm-hmm. I used to be so cynical and didn't realize it. Mm-hmm. I thought it was like quirky or like funny.
Yeah.
To like joan on people or like say stuff about, and then I just realized I was like, who, like what in the fuck? Like why would I not just be happy all the time?
Well,
and not that I am. It's not as if I found the formula.
Well, yeah,
but I think certainly live that way the majority of time.
Yeah, and I think if you lead your life being negative and that like energy, like nobody wants to be around that, you know. And also, unhappy people aren't trying to make other people unhappy. Or unhappy people are trying to make other people unhappy. Yes. So happy people are not.
Right.
So if you're walking around all day and you're like, fuck him, screw her, look at her doing that, blah, blah, blah. It's like you need to look inward, because really what you're doing is admitting to yourself that you're not happy with who you are. And I mean, I'm a really happy person, and I don't waste a minute of my day trying to drag someone down. Like I'm trying to uplift people.
Successful people never really come back down to talk shit on you.
No, and I get talked shit on
better things to do
all the time. And I'm like, I love that you have the time and energy to do that because
Yeah.
I'm not focusing my time or energy on that, you know.
One of the big things for me was being able to look at things by letting go. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize how much I needed to control things until I was able to let go of things.
Yeah, I was a control freak too.
And timing was a big one for me. I'm very much on timing. And so like traffic, lines, these things used to really frustrate me.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get frustrated by that stuff.
So how I looked at it now that was been a game changer for me was when I start to worry, I'm like, do I believe in God? Would he want me to worry, or is that for him to do? That's for him. Okay, so maybe I'm not supposed to be at this place at the time I think I am.
Exactly. It's like everything's happening for you kind of mentality.
Right.
Versus
Rather
to
than
you.
to me.
Yeah, and I had to get real with myself about that a while ago too. I think when I was going through like a lot of pain and stuff, you have to like get real basic with yourself or you're just going to be miserable. And I had to make every little thing turn into something that was like happening for me, because if I didn't, I was just gonna literally
like magic almost.
Yeah, I just had to like trick myself. And so once you start tricking yourself, just like you said earlier, like you start creating these habits without even realizing it. Once you just start looking at your life differently, and then it just becomes like on autopilot, and then everything is a blessing, everything is happening for me, everything is good.
Well, because I had like out of my 40 years, let's call it the first 10's a crapshoot for any of us, and we have some traumas and some other things, but generally we're not like in depression yet. So for 30 years, I had these habits that were not conducive to that.
Yeah.
So breaking that. One of the big things I heard yesterday was a conversation about breaking the habits or breaking out of this shell and having this understanding that we kind of control our own happiness. Mm-hmm. That I really liked was thinking about the choice to be happy. And I always thought that was such a complicated or complex thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think it does.
Yeah, when in actuality, if I'm like dwelling on something or sad about something, it's not that I have to like trick myself per se to make that a happy thought, but for me it's a relativity thing. Mm-hmm. Like, did I have to walk through a desert for 40 years? No, I have to deal with some pain right now, and I might not know the lesson that this pain is teaching me, but it will teach me resilience. And what I figured out was a lot of times that lesson comes from yourself.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
You're resilient because you have to be.
Yeah.
Like you can't be crying when you're picking up your daughter to go play.
Yeah. You got to be strong for yourself and for other people.
Right?
You
And
know?
so like, I think I started looking at it like the more my shit I can unravel, the less my kids will have to unravel later.
Well, yeah, and if you think about it, especially being a parent, because we're both parents, like, what kind of leader do you want to be? You know, and like if you are going to be weak and let every little emotional thing like interrupt how you show up for people, what is that teaching your children? You know, like I had models of that in my life and it did not help me at all. It didn't serve me seeing a parent stressed out all day or a parent upset and then wanting me to fix it for them. And I mean, all those things hurt me a lot as a kid. So then growing up, you know, those are all things I had to work through. And so I don't want to do that for my daughter. So I have to be strong. I have to work through it on my own. I have to find coping mechanisms and things that allow me to decompress, because if I blow up or I'm just not my strongest self, like that's not a good example. And when you have kids, like that's super important, hopefully, as a parent, for you to be your best, you know?
Yeah, I didn't realize how important it is, or how much, I wouldn't say more masculine I feel, but I never really identified until recently the power that comes with control. Mm-hmm. And not control in the sense that I'm going to control you, that I'm going to control me. Mm-hmm. Staying calm in situations is something that feel like I've always been pretty good at, as far as like, somebody's bit by a dog, like how do we stay calm, get that done. But one thing I never got a handle on until much later in my life was staying calm in emotional distress. Distress,
Distress, yeah.
When I'm upset. And again, these aren't things that I'm like telling you or telling anybody because I figured it out. But I've gone a long way with it.
Yeah.
And so like being able to like take a breath and not react. I made a pact with my youngest son last summer. I haven't yelled at him since. I was yelling at him about something. He's like, "Dad, why do you be so aggressive?" And like you could tell he was fighting back tears, and it just broke me. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know, man. After like 20 years of being a dad, I don't know. I don't think I have to be. And so since then, he gets disciplined, but it's like we speak calmly about the situation.
Yeah.
And then I take that shit away.
It's so much more conducive, you know?
Well, yeah, and his energy is completely shifted too. because he's not always on edge.
And he's not afraid of you.
He's not afraid.
And it's not about them being afraid. Like, yeah, you want them to be afraid of you a little bit because you want them to, like, follow.
Yeah, but all he has to know now, all I figured out, well, again, may change in 3 months, but what I figured out for now, for me, that works best for as being a parent, is just doing what I say I'm going to do.
Exactly.
If I say, hey, scream out like that again, because he screeched, all these boys screech. I'm like, dude, never screech. I'm like, screech like that again when you're in a thing, and you're off the VR for like the weekend. I'm just taking away for 2 days, just dead. You know, you're 10, like 2 days gone. And he squeals, and I'm like, did I make this decision or did you? And he's like, I did. And I'm like, so are we upset? Yeah, okay, but we understand why it's happening? Yeah, cool, hand it over.
Exactly.
And it's done.
Yeah,
right?
like
so
committing
that's all
to what
it
you
was,
say.
Just, that's it. That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
So-
it's huge.
I didn't really see that. And my oldest son knew that because I remember one time taking him and his buddies back from Six Flags after like 20 minutes. Because I was like, don't run away with me when we get there. And they did. And I'm like, we're leaving. And they're like, what? And like the whole way home, they're like bumping him, like, tell your dad to turn around, you know? And he's like,
Yeah, he's like, I know.
He knew it wasn't happening.
Mm-hmm.
We were done. We were
Yeah,
done.
but you're right. If you follow through like that, the kids know the expectation, and that's it. Like, you don't want confusion or lack of clarity ever. And if they know exactly what you say is what you mean, there's no confusion.
Yeah, eventually. At 10.
Yeah.
10 there should be.
Yeah.
So what is one way I love to end my shows is to ask you if there is, as someone, and let me just kind of reiterate in case someone didn't watch the whole episode, but a successful entrepreneur, a former bodybuilder, someone who not only has a skincare line but took a great deal of pride in learning about it and making something of quality and natural products, right? Not just like, it wasn't about money for you. It was about like helping people who were in the same position live a better life. So you've accomplished a great deal. What is something, a phrase, a mantra, a saying that maybe has resonated with you over the years that has gotten you kind of through hard times, or something maybe you developed later in life?
I really like that. I feel like the biggest thing is like, you know, when someone asks you something and then it like just comes in your mind and you don't even get to like, that's
Think
like what
about it.
just happened to me. Like, you just said that and I did not know what was going to come to me, but it did. And it's, everything is temporary. And that is so true for me because the good times are temporary, the bad times are temporary, the stress you're going through is temporary, the problem you're having, whatever. And I think that's so important with being a parent, being a mother, being a woman in this world, you know, running a business, like all of those things. It's like actually kind of relieving when I say that to myself because it keeps you from freaking out. And like, I'm someone like you and I seem very similar, like ADHD, like kind of control for, you know, whatever, all those things. And I have to just remind myself, everything's temporary. And like, this good moment is great. So I'm going to soak it in because it's great right now. And so I appreciate the good even more. But then when the hard comes, it's like, it's going to go away. It's going to get better, you know, and it's just very simple. So
You've survived everything up until this point.
Exactly. And I have to say that all the time. If I freak out over something, like I get health anxiety over weird shit because I'm just a lunatic. And when I do, I'm like, Ashley, have you lived until now through all these little things that have popped up that you think you're going to die from? Yes. And it's like, now I don't have health anxiety anymore because I just let it go. And it's like little things that like used to really like set me back for a long time that like don't now because I just have to have that quick reminder to myself and check in. And a lot of it's like all just in your own mind. You're just making it 10 times harder than it needs to be.
Absolutely. So everything is temporary.
Yeah.
And our kitchen is soon to be done, so hopefully your absence from Punchline is temporary also. You'll come back and join us.
Yeah, I would love
Maybe
to.
bring the boyfriend on. We'll do some like
Oh yeah, you would
healthy
love him.
couples cooking, like
You would love
funsy stuff. So
Yeah.
really excited about what you've been able to do with your career in general. Very admirable about how you've approached it.
Thank you.
Really like your authenticity, and it's been a pleasure to have you on the show today. Thank you for
It's
coming.
been fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
See you guys next time.
Bye.
This episode of Mental is brought to you by Spas and More. Visit spasandmorestl.com for more information.